Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be having a look at a puzzle from Secret Santa today. Not really Secret Santa. It's actually by GDC, and it's called Jinxed Squad. I don't know why, but this was made by GDC as part of the Secret Santa that goes on every year over on the CTC fan Discord server, which has an incredible number of people on it. It's something like 30,000. 30,000 puzzlers have joined that Discord server. It's phenomenal. Anyway, GDC made this puzzle for Dream Librarian as a present for Christmas. And apparently it's wonderful, as actually is the name Dream Librarian. In fact, I don't know if this is what made me think of it, but the sort of name Dream Librarian was rattling around my head earlier when I knew I was going to be doing this puzzle. And on Facebook, I don't know why, Facebook has somehow learned I like poetry, and so it was sharing with me the W.B. Yeats poem "When You Are Old." So I snipped it and thought I'd read it to you. It's one of my favourite poems, and it's extremely evocative, a bit like the words Dream Librarian. So this is When You Are Old by W.B. Yeats. When you are old and grey and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read, and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true, but one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. It's good, isn't it? That is what a poet. Actually one of Mark's favourite poets as well. In fact, I think his favourite poet. I think Mark introduced me many years ago to W.B. Yeats' poem Politics, which I certainly I've read on the channel before. Anyway, you might be wondering, if you're new to Cracking the Cryptic, what is he gibbering on about? A very good question, and I apologise for gibbering. we will do this puzzle. It's a 159 puzzle, which is why we've got these sort of rosé coloured columns, and it's 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty, this one. And I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time. I don't have much news for you. What else did I want to mention? An appeal. An appeal. If you enjoy the channel, if you enjoy the poetry reading, do consider subscribing. It is free to subscribe to a YouTube channel. And if you're a massive YouTuber like Mr. Beast, subscriptions flow to you like water down the Victoria Falls. But if you are a Sudoku channel like ours, we have to earn them. We have to earn them to teach the algorithm that people love these puzzles. So if you do enjoy, please do subscribe. We'd appreciate it, and it would help the algorithm to learn that actually there are a lot of people out there who I think would get things out of these puzzles, for they are rather wonderful. And of course, if you really love us, we have our Patreon page as well, where for a couple of bucks a month you can get access to all our extra content, which includes lots of Sudoku hunts, long solves, Mark's connection videos, cryptic crossword content and the like. But that is all. Let us now turn our attention to Jinxed Squad by GDC, not Secret Santa. And the rules are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Quadruples. A digit inside a white circle must appear in one of the 4 cells surrounding that circle. So those cells there have to include the digits 1, 4, and 5. Those have to include the digits 2 and 3, etc. Very straightforward. A lovely rule, actually. I love quadruple puzzles as a rule. I've said rule too many times. Now, we've also got 159 indexing. What does that mean? It says digits in columns 1, 5, and 9 indicate the column in which the digit 1, 5 or 9 respectively appears in that row. Now if you're good at computer programming, that's probably going to appear or feel incredibly intuitive to you. But if you're more like me, somebody who would like to be good at computer programming but never has any experience in it, then I will just do a couple of examples of how this works. So in fact, let's just deal with the digit 1, for example. So let's reread the rules just thinking about the digit 1 rather than polluting it by thinking about 5 and 9 as well. Digits in column 1 indicate the column in which the digit 1 appears in that row. So if this cell was A6, this column basically is indexing the 1. So this is saying that the 1 in this row appears in the 6th column, so it would be here. If this was an 8, that would be saying the 1 in the row appears in the 8th column, so it would be there, etc. And the way that these columns work is exactly the same, but this one's for 5. So if that was an 8, we'd put the 5 in the 5th column. Very straightforward, but slightly strange. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. In fact, what I should do in getting cracking is tell you the secret of 159s, because this is a puzzle type that does have a secret, and it's a secret when I first saw 159 puzzles I didn't know, and it makes an enormous difference if you don't know this secret to how you approach solving the puzzles. Now, the secret is to do with entropy, which in Sudoku terms we sometimes think about in terms of dividing the digits 1 to 9 into group sets of 3. So let's divide them into low digits 1, 2 and 3, middly digits 4, 5 and 6, and high digits 7, 8 and 9. Now the crucial thing to realise is that within this, I don't know if is that called a chute or something? I don't know, it's probably chutes of the columns, I don't know. But within these 3 cells, within these 3 cells, and within these 3 cells, you can only have 1 middly digit, 1 low digit, and 1 high digit. And you may say, what? How can that be true? Well, let's see why that's the case. Let's try and put 2 middly digits into this group of 3 cells. So we'll put 4 there and 6 there. And let's consider the implications. We know that this column is indexing a 1. So this 4 is saying write 1 there. This 6 is saying write 1 there. And we will repeat 1 in box 5 as a result. And you can see if we put 5 in instead, that would have repeated the 1. And this is the reason why you can only put 1 middly digit in here, only 1 low digit, that will plonk the 1 in here, and only 1 high digit because that will plonk a 1 in there. And you obviously can't have 2 1s in any box of a Sudoku. So actually I can see one thing that gives me instantly here. And it's a really strange pencil mark that I don't think you'd get very quickly if you didn't know this rule. I can now pencil mark 3 into those squares. Why? Well, because I know this quadruple clue has a 1 and a 2 around it. I know there must be a low digit in these 3 cells. That's the corollary of us having 1 of each type. So there is a 3 in one of those, which means there's a 1 in one of these by indexing, but actually we know the 1 is in this quadruple. So we get a 3 3s and 1s pencil mark. There's a 1 3 thing going on here as well, which means 1 and 3 in row 3 have to be in those squares, I think. Right. That's not 1, is something I can see now. So can you see why this can't be a 1? If you can't, just pause the video. It's not terribly difficult logic, but it'll help you to get familiar with how these 159 rules work. If this was a 1, that's saying this. Don't forget, this is the cell that will index the column in which the 1 appears in this row. So if this is 1, this is 9, and it can't be 9 because again this quadruple clue has a 9 around it. So I think what we have to do is say that this square is 7 or 8. So it is that is the high digit in this run. Now, what should we do next? If that was okay. See now I'm not taking my own advice. That's appalling. Right, this column indexes 9s. So imagine that was a 3. Well, that's saying put 9 here in the row. We can't put 9 there because of this 1, 1, 2, 9 clue. So there's a 1, 3 pair now. Well, okay, what that means is that the low digit in these 3 squares is not 1 or 3, so it is 2. And that's saying write 9. Oh, I see. So that's saying write 9 into one of those 3 cells, the second column of its respective row. But actually, it can't be here, can it? We can't write 9 there, so that can't be 2. So there's a 9 in one of these. And that means... pregnant pause. Well, my mouth has written a check my brain can't cash, I think. Do I care that there's a 2 around there? Do I... Oh, I don't know, actually. I've got nothing here. I know that the middly digit in these squares, for there must be a middly digit, is going to index the 1 over here, isn't it? So that's column 5 or column 6, right? So these squares are from 3, 5, and 6. And don't really know what to do now. I'm looking. I promise I'm looking for something to do, and I'm just not spotting anything. I've got nothing. Oh dear. Let me think. Is it that one? 1s, 4s, and 5s? What's that doing? That is saying that. I don't think it's doing very much, actually. So I've got to put a 1 or a 2 in here and a 1 or a 2 in here. Oh golly, this is very clever, actually. It's very clever that you can get off to such a good start, and it did feel like a reasonable start, and then absolutely, oh, I suppose 2 around that clue. If given I've got a 2 up here, the 2 around this clue must be in one of 2 places. I do need a low digit in this string, don't I? So one of these is 1 or 3. And if it's a 1, that's indexing a 5. And if it's a 3, it's indexing a 1. Okay, so we can't do that. Okay, but 2 around this 2, 3 clue is now on its right-hand side. But 2s, I just don't think 2s are very interesting digits. That's probably famous last words. It's probably exactly the digit I'm meant to concentrate on. But so 2 is down here. Again, I don't see quite how I'm meant to use that. Okay, so we've got to come up with something else. Okay, let's come back to this clue. Because there is a 1 around this clue, but actually I know it's not here because of this pencil mark. So there's a 1. So one of these is a 4. That's what we get from that. Oh, well, that's actually really good. That's really good. Because given that whichever one of these is a 1 is going to plonk a 4 into one of these squares, neither of these can be a 4, so this becomes a 1-4 pair. Right. That's huge. I've got my first digit then. Yeah, I must have. Look at this 4-9 congregation. There is a 4 around it, but none of those 3 squares can be a 4. So that is a 4, and that is an indexing cell for a 5. So there's a 5 here now. Now, what does that do? Well, I can see it puts 9 in one of those squares, but I think it might do something else up here. Although quite what, I'm not sure. What about the 9 down here? So that's got to be indexed by this digit, which is, so that's a 4 or a 5. So that's a middly digit in this string, which is probably somehow important. 4, actually. There's a sort of X-wing on 4s, isn't there? There's a 4 in that domino, there's a 4 in that domino. So if we ask where 4 goes in row 4, it's not in any of those squares, so it is in one of those squares. I don't know if that's doing anything. I don't think it is. If 1 and 4 are in these squares, 5 is in this, on this side of this quadruple clue, and 5 is an indexing digit. Oh, I see. So 5 is there around this quadruple. That means 5 is up here, where we've also got our friend the 3. So this is a 3-5 pair. There's a chance of a 3 in the corner. There was something else though I wanted. Oh, I'll come back to it. I've got to do some indexing in these positions. But let's just think about this. What's this saying? Right, that's saying that the 1 in here is in one of those two squares, so it's not there. But now we can't have 1 and 3 together for all the reasons we mentioned before. There must be a high digit in this string. So the 3 moves over here, and the 1 moves over here. So there's a 1 down there, which means these squares include a 6. Oh, this is kicking off. There's so much going on. I'm going to miss things. I know I am. There's a 3 here, so this is a 2-3 pair. Okay, let's be very careful. So I've also got this 5. So this 5 is saying one of those is a 3. That 5 is saying one of those is a 2. This 6 is saying around this 6-8 clue there's a 6 on this side of it, which might be interesting. Golly gosh. Now 4 around this clue must be on that side. That's probably not interesting. Not sure, but I don't think that's crucial. Does it matter that we got this 2-3 pair here? Is that telling us something? I don't think so. 2 and 3 are not indexing digits. Oh, why have I got a 3 in one of those? Okay, so 3 in row 4 is in one of 2 places then. Can't go here because of Sudoku. 1 and 4. Yeah, it's almost like what we're going to have to do here is to keep very careful, or pay very careful attention to all of these quadruple clues and check all the time whether or not we've sort of used them fully or not. 7 or 8 here, that's correct. That corresponds to the 1. I haven't put a 2 pencil mark in here. Should I do that? Yes, I certainly should. Yeah, I certainly should. Look at this. There's a 2 around here, but I've got a 2 up there as well. So the 2 in this row has only got 1 position, and it's there, which means there's now an 8 in one of those two, for what that's worth. Does this 2 do something? Yes. Okay, there's a 2 pencil mark down here, presumably because there's a 5 there. So we can use those together. That places 2 here. It places 9 here. That's big, because that is a 9, and 9 is therefore 5. So these 5s and 9s sort of index each other. 4 moved into one of those squares as a result of that. Oh, I've got a 2-3 pair here, so I can do the 3 here. And that gives me a 1, and a 1 is an indexed digit, so that digit is a 7. And now I see 9. Sorry, has this been available for ages? I just didn't see it. 9 in row 3 is there. It's at the end, indexing itself, ironically. So these squares are a 6-8 pair. Now that must do something. How do we use that? If these are a 6-8 pair, there's a 4 up here as well as a 2. and a 9. Okay, but we know the 9 is there. That's how we got the 2 pencil marked. 9, okay, 9 in box 6 is in one of 2 places. So one of these squares is an 8. And therefore the 8 around the 7, 8 clue is in the bottom part of it. No, I don't think this is doing anything, is it? But it was quite interesting for a moment. Okay. 2. Oh, all right. Let's take my own advice again. There has to be a low digit in this string of digits. It's not 2 or 3, is it? So it's 1. That is a 1-8 pair. So there is a 9 in one of these squares now, which means that is a 4-9 pair. Whoops. So if that's a 4-9 pair, well, I mean, yeah, this is there has to be a low digit in this string, and it has to be there now, and it has to be 1. It's got 3 and 2 looking at it. So that's a 1 indexing itself, unfortunately. And now these squares by Sudoku are 2, 6 and 8, I want to say. And that's not 8 by dint of this. Oh, can we do something with... What does that do? Okay, well, let's use it. 2 means that there is a 1 in one of these. That must be true. So there is no 1 here, apart from me, if you know what I mean. There is a 6. Oh, no, that's already done. And then an 8. 8 in one of those, so there's a 1 in one of these. So that's not good, is it? That doesn't actually help me. Okay, sorry. 6 and 8 here. I mean, this is really well put together, this puzzle. Look, 6 and 8 around this quadruple. They have to both be on the right-hand side of it then. Now, do we care about that, though? Maybe we care for the column. What do we need there? 3, 7, 9. Yeah, so where's the 3 in the column? I've got a 3 here, so this is a 7, 9 pair. Right, a 9 is indexed, so 4 has to go into those squares. We're going to get these digits known, aren't we? But also we get a 3 here, which is probably the more important thing. Yeah, that means there's a 3 in one of those 2 squares around this 3, 5 clue. No, I thought I could get a 1, 3, 5 triple, but this 1 is sticking out, so we can't do that. But 3, there's a 3 in one. I could get a 3 in the corner. 3 in one of 2 places down here. Oh, no, 3 is in the corner. 3 is in the corner because there must be a low digit in this string. And the only low digit available is 3, and it has to go there. And that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So that's indexing 9 into this position. Oh, no, it doesn't do anything. I'm sure it does. Hang on, let me just think. How do we use that? I don't know, but we need to work out what these digits are as well. One of them is 7, and one of them is middly, which is 6. Right, and they're indexing 9s, aren't they? So there's a little quadruple of 9s into these positions. Okay. And I've got 4s here as well. That's going to be big if that's true. Why? Oh yeah, that is true. There is definitely... Right, there is... From the 6 pencil mark here, there is a 9 in this domino, and from the 4, 5 quadruple and this 4, there is a 4 in this domino. So this is a 4, 9 pair, definitely. And what I can see that's doing is it's plonking 1 here, which means this is not a 1, this is not a 1, that is in position 6. So that's 6, that's 2, that's 8, that's 1, that's 5, that's 3, that's 8, that's 6. Good grief, we could be away here. That's 2 now by indexing the 5. These 2 squares are 4 and 7. That might be resolved somehow. I'm not sure how. And these squares are now known to be 5 and 7. Okay, let's just put that in and then we can worry about it. So there is a 5 in position 7 in either of those two cells. And both of those seem plausible, actually. So that means there's a 5 in one of these two squares by Sudoku, which means there's an 8 in one of these two squares, which means that that is a 1/8 pair. Of course it is. So now these squares are 3 and 6. These squares are known. All of a sudden, they are 3 and 6 again. That's 3 and 6 as well. So these squares are known. They must be 5, 7, 8, I want to say. So 5, 7, 8, and we can get rid of 5 from this one. So there is a 5. Oh, yes, okay, so there is a 5 in one of these corresponding with the 6 pencil mark in the 5 indexing column. Alright, so what do we do as a result of all this? What we will do is probably revisit our... I don't know, actually. I don't know what to do. We might be able to revisit... I've no clue. Do we know something about... We know something about these digits. They're 4, 6, 7, 9. But... So these are 4, 6, 7. I don't immediately see how to use that. I'm probably missing something, but I can't see how to use it. Let's take stock of our quadruple clues. Yeah, okay, where's the 8 around that one? That's a reasonable question. It hasn't got an 8 around it, so that's got to be 8, which means that's 8 and that's 1, and that's going to disambiguate, well, lots of things. That's 5. That's saying put the 5 here. I see the 5 and the 1 index each other, so we don't learn too much more from that. Although we probably do. That's that's another 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its ridge, and that index is 1 to here. So these squares are, let's just delete all this, 2, 4, and 9. And what do we know? We know that's not 9. There's a 2, 4 pair in this row, so that's 9. Therefore, this is 2 to be in the second column. That's 4. That's 4. That's 2. That's 9. That's 7. And that 4 corresponds to that, so that's lovely. That's 3. That's 6. That's 7 to complete the row. That's 6 to complete the box. Now, oh, I see. And now where's 8 around this clue? And because of this 1/8 pair, it's not in these squares. And because of this, it's not there. So 8 goes here. Now that took the place of a 2. Oh, I see, which I can now place in the column, look. Okay. Is that good or bad? 1 I can just place, it's just Sudoku. So these are 4, 5, 9. Which is going to help, actually, because we can do Sudoku now on 4 in box 6. And we can get this digit, which I think is going to have to be a 6. I was a bit slow to that, wasn't I? Whoa, 3 in this row is placed. I didn't see that, sorry. So this is 7 or 8. And these two squares have got to be a 7, 9 pair to complete this box. And does that make sense? I think it does. Okay, so now what does all this mean? I'm not sure. Oh, we know that's not 9 because the 3 is indexing the 9 in this row. Okay, it's probably going to have to revisit. That's indexing 5, either to itself or to there. Okay, that's correct. 5 Yeah, that's correct as well. Okay, what's this one doing? 5 into this position or this position. That's okay. Right, 9 here. That's corresponding with this. Oh, this 4 is doing some work. So that's 4 by Sudoku. That's 7. That's 7. That's 5. So now this is 5, I think. Oh, that doesn't. That's wrong, is it? Don't like that. Oh, does that get broken by this? Oh, that's really clever. That looks totally deadly to me. And like the puzzle will have 2 solutions, but the 7 is going to help us out, I think. So that becomes 7. That becomes 6. That's saying write the 9 into position 7, and that unwinds the deadly pattern. Beautiful. Beautiful. So now this is 8. That's 8, and that's 6. This is a 6-7 pair. So I should know what these are. Of course I don't. I'm going to have to work it out. 2 and 5. 2 and 5. That's become a 7. So this has become a 5, 8. Now somehow or other... Oh, it's this clue. Look, there's got to be a 7 around it. I was thinking this looks totally deadly again. But there's got to be a 7. So the 7 and the 9 go in. That fixes the 8 and the 1 by indexing. 1 and the 4. So that should be 4. That should be 9 using indexing or Sudoku. We can take our pick. 8 goes here now. 5 goes here. 5 goes here. 2 goes here. That 5 is in position 3. So 3 and 6. 3 and 2. 6 and 7. Good grief. That is a special puzzle. I mean, that's a slightly shorter video than some of mine, but every bit as wonderful as some of the longer solves because the puzzle's so clever. And it's really nice. If you know the secret, it's really nice. That's a beautiful thing to solve. It's correct. 267. It's got a lot of solves, actually. Well, not. I suppose probably because it was on the Secret Santa. So it's probably been solved by a lot of the Discord community. But I hope you had a go at that. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.